The NFL has continued to release its top 100 players, and Lamar Jackson has fell all the way down to 69th amongst his peers. We're going to talk about that massive fall for Lamar Jackson. And then in today's episode, we're going to talk about JSN. A defensive coordinator says no one fears him. We're going to talk about it. Break it all down, but you got to hear the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, football fans, and welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby, joined by Steve-O. So if you love talking football and you tuned in today, make sure you do the simple two-step process. Hit that like button and subscribe. We on our road to 1K. Go ahead and get in tune. Steve-O, what's the word?
What's good? What's good?
Hey, man, let's go ahead and talk about it. Lamar Jackson. We've been seeing a number of things happen with this top 100 players that has been voted on by NFL players. One of the shocking ones earlier in the week is where we seen Jordan Love fall in the 70s. I ain't gonna lie. Even as a hater, I'm like, hold on, 70? All right, y'all got it. But now we got to talk about Lamar Jackson, bro. Lamar Jackson has fell from number 2, Steve-O, over the last 2 seasons, all the way down to 69th. First, what's your initial reaction, bro?
My first initial reaction, y'all might be shocked by I say this. I said, where the fuck is Joe Burrow at? Because if we finna sit here and all be rightfully so, he should drop a little bit due to injury. But if we finna come out here and say injuries is the reason why he dropped that damn low, I better not see Joe Burrow in this list then. Because he's been more injured than any other quarterback in this damn league. So that was my first thing coming out here. Like, what's the biases that's going on out here with this? Because 2 to 69 is a drastic drop. And I'm gonna be honest. Even with the season that he had, it wasn't terrible. It was injury riddled. It wasn't a typical MVP Lamar Jackson type of season. He did struggle with certain things, but like I said, it all goes back to him not being as healthy as he could have been. But to say that he the 69th best player in the damn league, and y'all probably finna put Joe Burrow in the top 10, that's straight out bullshit. That's not right. That's incorrect. That's flat out favoritism, bias, and quite frankly, this whole list is about to be a wash in a minute. The way this shit's setting up, because there's just a lot of questionable. This is the most questionable list in the last few years, in my opinion.
Yeah, bro, and I agree with you 100%. No way should Lamar Jackson not. I get it. If you want to drop it from 2 to 20, 2 to 30, maybe even top 2 to 30, I'm like, I bet. But there is not 68 players better than Lamar Jackson. I'm just saying, whether he went through the injuries or not, it ain't 68 players better than Lamar Jackson. And to your other point about Joe Burrow, did we somehow forget in the NFL amongst the players that Joe Burrow has missed the playoffs in 3 consecutive seasons? He's really good, but I thought this was all based on winning. I thought this was based about wins and losses
or accomplishments. And if we talking about accomplishments outside of Patrick Mahomes, it's Lamar Jackson. It's not even Buddy in Buffalo, to be honest.
Josh.
It's not. When it comes to Lamar's a 2-time MVP. He's won multiple playoff games. Literally, it's Patrick Mahomes and him when it comes to accomplishments in the current status of QBs right now.
For sure. Steve-O, is it safe to say that Lamar Jackson has never had the wide receivers that are Josh Allen or Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes has had? For real.
Hell no.
Because for real.
And it's not even a dig at Joe Burrow, the person or player, because injuries, sometimes you just can't help it. And especially the first few injuries, it had a lot to do with the organization and the team around him. But when it comes down to it, He's been with a few. He got 2 damn near future Hall of Famers wide receiver. He got a future Hall of Famer. He had a future fine defender in Trey Hendrickson. He has pretty solid coaching since he been there. Like when it came down to the story of Lamar Jackson, he came in after a beloved, well-known guy that won a Super Bowl, and it was time for it to move on, but they eventually did. And then what he did, he hit the ground running. After being listed as somebody that might be a wide receiver, running back, this, that, and third, don't know if he can play quarterback, and then he wins MVP. He wins MVP. They actually still, can he do it again? Can he get his completion percentage up? He does all that in the years after that. He flat out turns into one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's not running all over the place when he's winning in the pocket, and after that, that's when the injury starts up again. And then because of that, now he's at 69.
Yeah, that's crazy work. And then, like, if we keeping it real, if we stack the wide receivers for Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson, I don't even think Lamar Jackson will have a wide receiver in the top 10. If there was 10 wide receivers that we can find from the Buffalo Bills, the Chiefs, and the Bengals, this man is running with an elderly D-Hop, a young Zay Flowers, and Bateman. Yep. Maybe Mark Andrews may crack the top 10.
This is the best weapons he's had in his life. And this ain't shit.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe Mark Andrews cracked the top 10. Maybe. Yeah. But there's a number of wide receivers in, you know what I'm saying, that you can throw in that list that's going to be favorable to guys not named Lamar Jackson. It's just crazy work. Like, I understand it to where you be like, yeah, he fell off a little bit, you know what I'm saying, last year. But, you know what I'm saying, maybe some guys feeling salty because John Harbaugh got fired. But if we're going to call a spade and keep it a buck, we got to keep it a buck, at least with the realism that he can't be 69th, bruh.
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy work. I'm interested to see how the rest of this list shape out. I ain't even gonna lie to you, Steve-O, because that's one interesting thing, bro.
Like, bro, I'm gonna just say it, because our quarterback is supposed to be in this list. He not better than him. This is the fact. Caleb Williams not better than Lamar yet.
Yeah.
So the fact that y'all finna go ahead and say that, I don't know. Like I said, maybe it is to what you just said. A lot of to the respect and reverence of John Harbaugh, and maybe people thought that he was the catalyst, or he was the He was the guy that they pointed the finger at why they couldn't get over the hump.
Yep. But Steve-O, the thing is, in a couple more days or the upcoming weeks, we're about to see the NFL's darling be ahead of Lamar Jackson and Justin Herbert. But I see the NFL darling pop up on this list. I call Justin Herbert the NFL darling because no matter how bad he shows up in clutch games or big time games, he fumbles, but somehow people still put him in the top 10.
You know, he get that him and Sunshine get that grace period. I just don't understand. Like, and this coming from this, Justin is one of my favorite quarterbacks, being an Oregon guy, but I can't defend him. When it comes down to big games, he hasn't stepped up yet. If anything, he's lost them games, bro. So the fact that people like Sunshine and him they turn a blind eye, but anything Lamar does is just at the height of it's ridiculous. But hey, it is what it is.
We're gonna see what's to it though, man. It's definitely gonna be some interesting more topics coming from this top 10 list, because I'm interested to see who they pinpoint at number 1. I have an idea that it's gonna be Josh Allen, but it's definitely going to be interesting. Last point for Justin Herbert. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Bo Nix all have playoff wins before Justin Herbert. And that's disappointing because the Justin Herbert is extremely talented. Extremely talented. But it's just disappointing, for real.
Especially us. You let us get a playoff win before y'all. That's crazy.
And the Bears was in the dupes for a minute.
For real.
For sure. But hey, y'all let us know how y'all feeling about Lamar Jackson coming in at 69th amongst his peers in the top 100. Hey, Steve-O, now we move on to another list. It is that dry patch of the offseason where we just start dumping out lists for NFL conversations. This time, we move on to a list of top wide receivers that has been released via ESPN's Jeremy Fowler when coaches, scouts, and executives list their top players in their respective position. Now, when we talk about the top wide receivers, we have to look at 1 through 10, and this up on your screen if you're watching here on YouTube. You have Jamar Chase coming in at 1, Justin Jefferson coming in at 2, Jaxon Smith-Njigba coming in at 3, Puka Nacua at 4, Amon-Ra St. Brown at 5, CeeDee Lamb 6, George Pickens 7, Nico Collins at 8, 9, AJ Brown, and to round out the top 10, Devontae Adams. But the shocking part, Steve-O.
Nico Collins, maybe?
Yes, at number 8, brother. But we'll let you say that. But I want to talk about Jaxon Smith-Njigba first because I was reading this, and there's an NFL coordinator that said this about Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Love his game, relentless, smooth, competitor. He's not the elite outside players those top guys are. And then Jeremy Fowler mentions the common refrain from voters when game planning, Jaxon Smith-Njigba doesn't strike fear in coaches like some others do. How crazy is that? If it's crazy, if you talk about JSN first before we break down the list further, bro.
I think that's just one motherfucker. That gotta be one person that said that, and that's just a hater. Because I mean, I could get where they're coming from because you're gonna look at the top 2, which is Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, and to their credit, they have been equally 1A, 1B for the last since they've been in the league, honestly. And what they bring to the table is much more flashier, is much more. You see a lot more high points. You see a lot more spectacular catches. You see a lot more flashier flashes of their footwork when it comes to route running. When it comes to JSN, it's just precise. Get open. And that's and I don't care. I don't give a fuck what it looks like. But to me, as a football enthusiast, like people that watch JSN knows, like if you have a child coming up and he's playing wide receiver, that's a guy you want him to watch because his everything he has is in the details. And be as it may, for people that don't know, wide receiver is a very detailed position. And if you're not detailed, no matter how talented you is, DK Metcalf, it would show. It would definitely show. So to say that he don't strike fear into other people's heart, I mean, yeah, I think it's other people strike different fears for different reasons. But when it comes to JSN, he's probably the most scariest damn wide receiver because you can't slow him down because speed ain't what he's known for. You can't out physical him because physical is not what he's known for, but he is strong and pace. He has a nasty pace when it comes to wide receiver and nasty footwork. And the mixture of nasty footwork and expansion and a long route tree, like on top of the physical traits that he already have, is textbook of what you want your wide receiver to be.
I agree with you. I think that whoever said that JSN is not feared, I think they tripping. I just think they absolutely tripping, especially if you just honing in on the offensive side of the ball. Let's keep it a buck. Kenneth Walker didn't go off until the latter part of the season last year. The guy was JSN and Sam Darnold, and he was looking for him. You know what I'm saying? So I think that to say that no one fears him, I think that's a different thing. I think to your point, there is different levels of fear, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep it a buck. If your defensive coordinator is coming into the room at the start of the week to game plan for the Seattle Seahawks, if you do not have JSN on your top priorities for that game, that defensive coordinator is incompetent.
You're in the wrong business.
You're incompetent. What are you talking about? You're going to game plan for this kid. You wasn't really game planning for Kenneth Walker until the latter part of the season. But for the whole entire season, you're game planning for Sam Darnold and JSN as a defensive coordinator. I'm not trying to hit nothing from them. They tripping.
That's what I said. I feel like it was one motherfucker and probably a rival.
Probably two, and then they called it a common refrain. But Steve-O, you had a reaction to Nico Collins ended up on this list at number 8. Why you explain that for me?
I mean, he good, but like I didn't think maybe I need to go look back and see what he did because
okay, Steve-O.
I mean, he did have 3 consecutive 1,000 yards, which is nothing to sneeze at.
Right.
But I don't know. Like,
Steve-O, I got a great question for you then. Outside of the top 10, some honorable mentions. We got Malik Neighbors, Drake London. But I ain't talking about Neighbors because he was injured last year.
What Mike
Would
Evans?
you swap Nico Collins for Drake London?
No.
Okay.
I swap him for Mike Evans though.
Oh, that's an interesting one too. Because a lot of people gonna look at the Buccaneers season last year and say they didn't make the playoffs. They were losing. It's because that defense was atrocious.
That defense was terrible. Yeah.
That Baker Mayfield and those boys, along with Mike Evans, was keeping them in the game. They was putting up points. It was that defense that was relinquishing leads and stuff. That's what was happening.
I feel like it's a lot of people that we could talk about. Like, yeah, Drake London, Jameson Williams, like T. Higgins.
Yeah.
Like, hell, even Terry McLaurin still don't get the love that he deserves.
That's a fact. I think that's 5 people you putting over Nico Collins.
Yeah, like you can argue Chris Olave. You can argue Devontae Smith. You can argue.
I can't. That's one interesting thing though with Devontae Smith. I can't wait to see what he do this.
I think he gonna cook.
Season. I can't wait to see what he do this upcoming season. AJ Brown got a lot of love and well deserved. But people forget that Devontae Smith is really like that.
Yeah, he really is. Y'all better go. He won a Heisman, and did he not in Alabama?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
So
that ain't easy to do with this class. It is in this generation.
No, bro, not in this generation. Typically, those are quarterback awards.
Yeah,
and he did it. Got to show a lot of love to it, but yeah, man, it's just crazy work. But these are people lists. They have their own reasoning. But with the coaches, executives, and scouts, there's at least 70 people polled, and this is how they, drew it up. So we agree or disagree, and we let y'all know. Y'all tripping with a couple things for sure. But hey, Steve-O, you got anything left, bro?
No.
All right, y'all. That is it from us today, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode. Before y'all get up out of here, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well, man. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you always love football. And of course, we're going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace.
This has been a presentation